This video is brought to you by Squarespace. If you need a website or domain, go to squarespace.com. Hey everyone, and welcome to a new video. Have you ever looked at someone's photo and recognized it as the work of someone you know, even without looking at their name? Did you respect their ability to have a recognized style, or did you view that negatively as predictability and repetition? Should you have a style, and how does someone over time develop one? Is develop one even the right term? That's what we'll explore in today's video, and I'll give you 5 ways to look at this that will strengthen your brand and your art. If you stay till the end, I'll share with you why I think artificial intelligence is influencing the style game and what you can do about it. My name is Simon d'Entremont, and I make weekly videos giving you photo tips or taking you behind the scenes for wildlife and nature photography. Subscribe if you want to see more. Now I remember the first time I posted a photo on social media and received a comment saying, "I knew it was your photo before I even saw your name." When a friend and I were talking one day about photography, he repeated the statement about my photos that others had echoed, and I shared my concern that all my photos were starting to have the same look. His response was, "Michelangelo had a look, and that wasn't a problem." That made me ponder, is a look or a style a good or a bad thing? In the end, I've come to the conclusion that a style, where some patterns or techniques or looks are repeated, are not repetition. They're the consistent application of some strength or skill that you have that defines your work. And your ability to deliver that in your own way is what makes your work unique. Style in itself isn't a destination. It's always evolving. But when will you know when you have gotten there? When someone says to you, "I love your work," it's a good sign. It means that a photo of yours, or whatever your art form of choice is seen as part of a body of work, a collection, a sign that the pieces you produce are part of a collective, a group of works that stick together. And while you certainly don't need one, a style has some benefits. My style is a pretty wildlife subject in a pleasing environment and perhaps some behavior or action to make it unique. A style also delivers on your brand, making you unique and helps you stand out in a crowded universe. So how does one go about developing a style, if that's what we even call it? First, a style isn't always a specific destination you set out to find. It's a winding road that always seems to redirect you back to a certain direction, and it comes from experimentation. It's kind of like A/B testing or Darwin's natural selection, where you try 2 things to see which one works best. You take a couple of attempts at something new, and inevitably, this one works better. Then you try 2 versions of the one you like the best, and one stands out. So in the end, you need to experiment. But inevitably, it will lead you in a certain direction, even if the destination isn't clear. At one point, I really started enjoying photographing birds on a simple perch, a standard pose with a clean background, like this one, and this one. That was beginning to turn into my style. But slowly I started to notice something. The photos were starting to look the same. I saw that the bird wasn't the problem, it was the rest of the photo. I was documenting wildlife, which can be okay, but I wanted to make artful photos. So I started looking for opportunities for photos where the rest of the photo, beyond the subject, was better. Prettier sticks, nicer perches, weather, better scenes, more environment, and better action. Experiment, try new things, and see where it takes you. By the way, check me out on Facebook and Instagram. With almost every post, I include a photo tip. And sign up for my email list, and I'll include a free guide on shooting backlit. Links below. There's one inevitable result of experimentation. It will favor your strengths and show up your weaknesses. Playing to your strengths will come with less effort, freeing up the time for creativity. You don't need to be perfect at everything. Play to your strengths, as this will allow you to go places others can't, as they don't have your unique set of skills. We all have something unique to explore and contribute. Brandon Woeful is a portrait photographer from New York whose work includes lighting tricks and great poses. But also on the processing side, he combines lots of saturation in some colors, desaturated in other tones, with blacks that are never too dark, and color science like complementary colors like this teal and orange look. Some of this is done in camera, and some of it's done in processing. And if you're going to have a style, having a place to display your work is a great way to showcase that style. That's where a website comes in, and a great time to thank the sponsor of this video, Squarespace. As many social media platforms move more and more into video as a trend rather than photography, I think having a website is more important than ever. We need a place where we can showcase our work in fine detail, rather than the small thumbnails which don't show off all the work that went into a photo or is favoring video content over your photos. I built my own website using Squarespace and it was a breeze. They have lots of templates for you to choose from, and even templates designed for certain genres, like photography. If you want to get even more creative, you can go outside the templates and design your own pages from scratch with tools for adding text and video clips, photos, and links to other parts of your website. Not only is this a great way to display your work, you can monetize it with your own online store, and you can take payments via credit card or PayPal from all over the world. You can even offer people a free download for signing up to your email list, like I do. A great way to stay connected to your customer and add value to the relationship. Head over to squarespace.com for a free trial, and when you're ready to launch, go to squarespace.com/Simon to save 10% off your first purchase of a website or domain. Now you may be thinking, okay, a style is a way that my photos look to someone else. Well, yes and no. I like to think of your style as how you see the world and helping the viewer see it through your eyes. This comes across as a feel, maybe more than a look. Well, what does this mean for you? It means that you need to figure out what is my way of seeing the world and how do I take a photo that reflects that. Canadian painter Alex Colville once said that animals and people are in some sense heroes, and his function was to record this. You can see this in his work where animals are more than just sitting there often, but have an interaction or role in the scene. That, combined with an amazing pointillist painting style of little dots rather than strokes and desaturated colors, defined a style that's unique and beautiful. The next tip on style is whether or not to do what you like or what other people like. The short version of this is, if you try to make a career out of what other people like, you're in a world of hurt. Working in any field is hard enough, but in the creative world, doing something for someone else is like what kryptonite is to Superman. It will suck all of your creative superpowers away and make work a drudgery mess. Now, if you do what you like and it also is what sells, then you've hit the jackpot if monetizing your work is your goal. If making a living isn't what you want, but your photos are just popular and enjoyed, it's a win-win. Now, for most of us, the real world is somewhere between the two. I like photographing Milky Ways, and I'm happy just to shoot a nice Milky Way over a nice scene, like shooting from this cliff no one has heard of down to the ocean scene below. But no one recognizes this, so while it's beautiful, it's not commercially successful. But if I shoot a Milky Way over a well-known landmark, like here in Nova Scotia, the Three Sisters Rock Formation, the Skyline Trail, or the big oak tree by the highway in Shubenacadie, they sell well. In fact, when a hurricane knocked this famous tree down, the word went out that I had a great photo of it, which would never happen again, and I sold over 50 prints of this shot in the following week. And in this era of artificial intelligence, what does the ability of machines to produce art mean for us as creatives? There's a few things at play here we need to think about to differentiate us from machines. First, at this stage anyway, artwork made by machines is mostly copying other people's works. I asked an AI program to make me a photo of a snowy owl landing in the snow, backlit by the sun, and it made me this. Quite impressive, really. But this is someone else's works and interpretation, reinterpreted by a machine. It's not true innovation, nor can it be copyrighted. Courts have ruled that only work made by people can be copyrighted. Something else that AI also doesn't have is a brand. No one will buy a print and put it up on their living room to say with pride, this is an original photo made by Midjourney AI. And that's why building a brand is also important for us as a photographer, especially if you commercialize your work. It's something that you have for at least for a while, machines aren't likely to replicate. People will buy art from you because it was made by you, needed the skills you used, and represents your techniques they like, your style. And also made with your values, like made with the right ethical and moral practices. So go out there and do your work thinking about your style. It can be what represents you, delivers on your purpose, and gives the viewers a sense that it's part of a greater body of work which is defined by you, by your style. If you thought this video was deserving, please give it a like so YouTube will show it to other photographers looking to develop their craft. And I hope you can go out soon and get your own unique and amazing photos in your very own style. I know you can do it.